Yes.
Hey guys, sorry if I made you wait a few minutes. I know you probably hate waiting as much as this little chocolate face baby down here. Just want to say hi.
Not me, her.
Oh no, because she had to wait for a banana. She has to wait for Booba. It is just not easy being Violet. Oof, but it is. It's probably got to be easier being you today than me because I don't know about you, but I kicked off 2021 waking up with what seems to be an allergic reaction to whatever the eyelash girl used on my eyes yesterday. I've been getting eyelash extensions now, as you guys have probably noticed, for a couple months, and I'm obsessed with them. I absolutely love them. It makes you look together. It just changes your face with no effort. You wake up and people are like, you look amazing. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's Maybelline. Didn't do anything extra. Anyway, I highly recommend them. No problem so far. And then this morning, the first time ever, it's like, I can't open my eyes. I just took some Benadryl and I feel a whole lot better. But if you can blink, congratulations, you are winning at life, and I am not. So this is our annual tradition, the one that I made up, and well, our tradition here. I don't like New Year's resolutions. Never have. I don't think that you are a problem to be solved, and I reject this notion, this cultural reckoning that we have with ourselves after Christmas to be like, oh, yay, now I've got to change everything about myself and have like a new me and this new year and a clean slate. And I'm like, hopefully, my hope for this year is that coming out of the most stressful year ever into a void of can't plan for this because God knows what's going to happen next situation that we have headed into 2021, I was like, let's celebrate the end of this first day and hopefully the end of what might have been the most relaxed actual vacation you've ever had. I know for us, it was kind of a big nothing burger. Christmas was fun. Last night was fine, but it feels like endless Saturday again. And Saturdays around here, at least now that the kids are a little bit older, are in fact restful. Hopefully you can say the same. So no further ado, we're going to say hi to Mr. MK.
Oh, I get to go first?
You get to go first. And then we've got Kavlin here and Aaron. Oh. But I think we're going to start picking on you. You got to set that bar.
Great. All right. So you want to know what? So the goal is to describe my 5 roars.
Yes.
Is that
yeah.
It? Okay. And so remind me the criteria for the roar, just so I make sure all my 5 are correct.
Well, I mean, there are no right or wrong answers. There's just either you kind of get it or you don't. What we tend to do is like, my New Year's resolution is I'm going to lose, I gained some weight last year, so I'm going to lose some weight this year. And so, and then it becomes, so I'm going to join a gym and do a run streak or something. And there are all these things we decide to do that fall out of a resolution that maybe we don't like to talk about. Yeah. Or this year I'm going to be more present, whatever the F that means. And then we fail in that because we don't understand why we weren't doing that in the first place, right? We're committing to something completely new and oftentimes completely unnatural without examining, like, do I need to do this? Is this really better?
Okay.
Does this really need to happen? And overachievers tend to be the worst about it. Mm-hmm. And you're more of an overachiever than I am, for sure.
Okay.
You're kind of more like the audience, I think, than I am a lot of the time. Okay. It's not a criticism. It's just sort of like,
okay.
You know, the times in the past when you've made resolutions, I've been like, you don't need to do that.
Okay.
You're fine. So
5 things that I did this year that I want to do more of.
Yes. So instead of like something to change, I want us to find 5 things to celebrate about beautiful, amazing you.
Okay. So 5 things this year that I did this year that I want to do more of. Let's go with number 1, sleeping. I love sleeping. Now, I have loved sleeping my whole life, but it turns out for the last 20 years, I wasn't actually sleeping. I was kind of, so it turns out, so this year, being home all the time for the first time in our marriage. In fact, we're on track to spend the first year together of our marriage, right, this year. I have been traveling 4 days a week, so away 3 nights a week for pretty much a decade through our entire marriage and our dating period. So every single day that I'm here is setting a new record for the longest amount of time we've been together without a break. So as a result, lots of things that you can ignore 3 nights a week, became not able to be ignored anymore. So I went out and got a sleep study and was diagnosed with moderate obstructive sleep apnea. And then, this doctor was like, well, you before you can have any kind of surgery, you got to try an AutoPAP machine. So I got an AutoPAP machine, and I was like, Holy, can I swear on this or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Holy shit! Is this what awake people feel like? Like literally every day? And so it was kind of like I I thought, I mean, you're awake, but you're tired. I just thought a little stressful life. Turns out I just hadn't slept in 20 years
Or longer.
or longer, right? And so so I want to do more sleeping without apnea in
my God.
2021.
And if you had said that to me last year, I want to sleep more, I probably would have lost it because he was I would, to his face, to be honest, I very rarely say anything like this behind anyone else's back because that's when it's mean. I mean, granted, you can say really mean things to a person's face too, but I would call him a koala bear, right? Koala bears sleep 22 hours a day, wake up, eat, poop, and go right back to bed. And I'm like, that's my husband. It doesn't matter how much sleep he gets, he's still tired. And I get that, he travels a lot. It's hard. He lives a lifestyle. But we're kind of hitting the point where he sits down, he will fall asleep. And until we had Violet, because she will not let you get away with anything, right, Violet?
Yeah. So it turns out I just wasn't sleeping. That's why. So I kept trying to sleep and not sleeping, and so sleep was actually negative rest. So there we go for many years. So that was number one. Number two, things I'm going to do more of in 2021: walking. I discovered a love of walking. Now, could be different reasons for this, but okay, what's going on? Mostly it's because I could not stand being in my office anymore. And I was like, Jesus, what can I do? And I'm like, I'm on the cell phone anyway. I might as well just start walking. Right. And I'm pushing here the wrong way.
And then Pokemon Go came.
And then Pokemon Go came. But I just discovered that I like this little 4-mile loop around our house. Or around Wash Park near our house. And I just do it. Now I do it in like an hour and 20 minutes. And, it's just nice. I just really enjoy the walking. And then, then Pokemon Go kind of added more to it. But there's that. So what do I want to do in 2021? More walking. Yay. Anyway, it's okay. All right.
And more time with Violet.
Well, yeah.
More chocolate.
Yeah, more chocolate. More chocolate. Can you say more chocolate? Yes. Okay. What else do I want to do? More giving up. I did a lot of giving up this year.
Yes.
Right. And it's like, I at some point during the year I gave up, and at some point I started being like, look, I am just done with work and I'm done with all this, and I'm literally done. I don't care that it's 2 PM, and I am just going to go sit on the bed and do my PvP battles in Pokemon Go, or just not work. And it was beautiful. Yep. It was glorious. And I do it at like 2 PM on a Tuesday just because I could. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm giving up. I'm not going to attempt to be productive right now. And of course I did more of that as the year went by. But that was I'm going to do more of that. That was fun.
I wouldn't call it giving up as much as I would call it actually relaxing, actually taking a break, as opposed to stepping away and then feeling so guilty that you've stepped away that you can't truly refresh your brain.
Yep. Hey, hi. How are you? Okay.
What do you need Daddy to do?
Okay.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm just wondering why she's like.
She's with me. We're talking. It's cool. Okay. This is pretty much how I spent 4 months at the beginning of her life. So
that's why everybody needs paternity leave. She imprinted on him.
Okay. What number? We're on number 4 now. All right. Number 4 things I'm going to do more of in 2021.
What is the lip for?
She's like, I want your attention and you will not give it to me. All right. Number 4, antidepressants. All right. Recognizing that, what did I say? I've been taking some antidepressants before, but this year I finally broke down and tried an SSRI-based antidepressant, started on Zoloft. And recognizing that you can't always believe the thoughts in your head, and that using medicine to help overcome those thoughts. I know you do. You just gotta wait. I'm sorry. And so using medicine to help overcome those thoughts is okay. And so I liked antidepressants, and we're going to keep doing that. And, some of it was around the stigma of, admitting that you have depression. Because if you are, come on, Daddy. I'm talking to some people. But just in a minute. And so so the stigma around admitting that you struggle with anxiety or depression, which still to this day is just not cool, in some circles to admit that you deal with. And so there you go.
There's definitely a price to pay. Like you haven't kept your mouth shut because you're stupid, right? Traditionally, like we haven't treated mental health as something that was serious, or given it the seriousness that it warrants. And we talk about toxic masculinity, which is, you're less of a man if you have this and you can't control it on your own. And I just want to be very clear. That is real. But the only way we're going to move past it as a society is if we talk about it, band together, do the right thing for us, no matter what, and just kind of push forward together. And I really want to create that space for everyone to do that, where a space that is free from judgment, which will make us all stronger walking into the world. So.
Can I play with my white whale?
I don't know.
Your playground?
White whale?
Your white whale? In the bathtub?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go play with it.
Oh, not here.
It's not here.
It's not here. All right. Well, before we get to that, before Violet takes over looking for the whale, which is her Christmas present, I know.
I bet Cheyenne has it.
The last number 5, my fifth thing that I want to do more of. It's okay. You don't need to cry. That I want to do more of. So it's something that the part of myself that I'm always proud of is my capacity to learn and tackle new bodies of knowledge. And this is something that, like I said, it's I'm one of those people in a world where money was not an object. I could probably, just be a PhD student in different things for my entire life. But there's just no money in it. And so I did a lot of learning this year, of learning new things and being willing to dive in and study and learn a new body of knowledge, no matter how daunting it is and no matter how, scary it is. And I did that a couple times this year, and I'm proud of it. And I want to do more of that in 2021 because you never stop learning.
Because this is another overachiever's paradox. I like to tell, that's how I think of it. You do stick with what you know and do with what you're good at because you want to be top of the class and have the best grades. The way it was described to me once is like, you don't want an astrophysicist with C+ major. And I'm like, but the one who has a straight A average might not have tried anything new, hard, or actually learned. So why not? Like, why not go with the C+ person who's actually like figuring things out instead of taking the path of least resistance? I want the person who's actually learned. So him having come out of all of these really highly competitive environments, all I had to do was not be pregnant or in prison before I graduated high school, and I'd like beat the hell out the benchmark of where I come from in rural Tennessee. At Sherwood Rosemary Hall, fancy private boarding school, the bar was a little bit higher. So I say all of that to be like, in his downtime, he decided to go get a law degree from OU a couple years ago. It was like half. It was like 1/3 of a law degree. It was still like a lot of extra work. So I say that to be like, to be able to go and just learn something for the love of it, and to wanting to understand it with no certification, no thing that enhances, to just sort of do it fearlessly and not feel like wasted time. I think that for you is a big deal too, just as someone who knows you and loves you.
Yeah, I enjoy it. So we're doing more of that. So that's what I'm doing more of in 2021. Sleeping, hold on. Sleeping, walking, giving up antidepressants, and learning. There you go.
The watch is not getting
Oh, wow.
The watch is not.
You have just tried to crash this in every way possible.
Anyway,
so that's it.
I get
so
it.
let's turn it over to somebody who doesn't have a 3-year-old talking over them.
Let's see, who doesn't have a 3-year-old talking over them? That looks like, I'm going to, Coach Kevin, we're going to bring you on screen now. Yay! Really going to make it so you can say hi.
Yeah,
since you.
Hi, Kevin. How's it going?
I don't think this before.
We haven't, but I've done strength with like 1,000,000 times. So
right.
I am the hashtag worst rebuilder ever. Right? So.
It's okay. We all got something to be proud of, right?
There
So
you go.
we're doing it. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Get it done. So, Calvin, what are your Romulus wars?
Okay. Well, you guys know I like to keep things brief and moving along.
As
So we
what do you expect from it? Is it an Army girl?
Air Force.
Air
it
Force?
is Army, no Army.
Oh, I'm embarrassed. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's actually the Chair Force. So Kevlin's more proactive than the Chair Force. Yeah. So Army, tell us about your roars.
Sure. So first on my list is actually play more Roblox with my kids. So
Okay. Well,
yeah,
We haven't gotten to that stage yet because your kids are a little bit older, right?
they are 9 and 10.
Yeah.
10's about to be 11. But yes, so we have discovered that all 4 of us can play together separately, which actually works out really well. So we're all on different computers, but you're playing in the same game. And for us, since my husband is gone for so long and he disappeared for 150 days at the beginning of COVID, so we could all still have our family game nights. And so it's kind of a 21st century adaptation.
More family virtual togetherness.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Cool. So when you get there, let me know.
Like I said, so if you had asked her 2 years ago if she thought that our primary family bonding experience would be through a video game, you should have heard the things she said about video games a couple of years ago.
Oh, well, I'm so anti-technology.
To be open about it, I was dating I was dating a gamer, a person who was very secretive about it. I didn't realize how bad his problem was until I lived with him temporarily. And like there was a night he lost a game, picked up a crystal ashtray and threw it at my head. And I'm like, because I had interrupted a game. And I remember thinking like, this is a sickness. This is a disease. God, I don't know. Like this, and it wasn't that long ago. I guess it was about a couple of years before you and I started dating. So
that'd be 13 years ago.
Yeah, God, a long time ago.
So a bit ago.
Games were different then. It was less the thing to be sucked into a game for 3 days straight, right? Gamers were weird because you had to work so hard to be that addicted to it. It wasn't like scrolling Instagram or your Facebook feed. Does that make sense? It was like you needed people and a place and cards and a basement, and it was just a lot. And so anyway, I never thought gaming in any way would fit into my life. And now I think this is showing on Twitch right now. So it shows what I know.
Oh, me neither. A year ago, I would have been like, absolutely not. We are not going to sit down and do this. But it has actually become quite of a bonding experience. And, we learn how to communicate with each other. And, they teach me so much. There's the way that they can pick up on what to do in these games is crazy. It's just I'm like, where did you learn that? Like, I just did
watching our crew play Nintendo or Super Mario Odyssey for the last 4 days, and it's out of control.
Yeah, it is. So, but that's my first one.
What's our
time? So, on the flip side, though, after all that Roblox time, taking time for myself, sitting out on my porch with quiet, nothing but like nature sounds. So I enjoy that. I discovered that when it was just me and the kids for several months, sitting out, escaping to my back porch was the best thing I could do. And just sitting there and listening to what was going on around me.
Amen. I do. I like eating breakfast on the front porch when it's warm. So.
There you go. Yeah. So, and the next it was a big one for me, was asking for help. And, in particular from Fitness Protection and everybody who supported me through my fundraiser and actually getting me to my goal and beyond. It's the first time I'd ever done anything like that. So, but it was exciting and rewarding, and I'd like to do more of it.
There you go. 1 + 1 = greater than 2.
Yeah. So, and then let's see here. Giving my kids more responsibility.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I keep thinking children like in Annie in like the 1920s, they were like scrubbing floors and windows. I'm like, why aren't we doing that? Right?
Right. So they had to pick up a lot of slack here
Yeah.
during that 150-day stint of not having any backup for me. And yeah, I enjoy it. They take out the trash. They bring the trash cans in. They vacuum my carpets.
I
It's
mean,
wonderful.
I'm with you. I think when all our kids are over the age of 10, we won't need people to help us clean the house anymore. I mean, I'll basically have 4 maids, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Oh man, you know what? I would never have been pushed to ask more of them if I hadn't been on my own.
Okay.
So it's a good thing.
It's
So it is. So let's see my list here.
good. Okay.
Now just being okay with it's good enough.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
Good enough's great.
Good enough.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes. It's good enough. So through e-learning and everything, I was like, you know what? That's good enough.
Oh yeah, e-learning. I definitely was. I kind of applied the adults method of, yeah, you don't really need to do that.
I know. Yeah. But that's it. There were some good things I think that came out of 2020. So,
Okay. All right. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Any commentary or comments or pithy notes?
No, I thought those were fantastic. I mean, more Roblox is not something I would have guessed, but I can absolutely see how the course this year really did change things, and not necessarily. I mean, there's a lot of privilege. This did hurt. A lot of people are hurting right now. I don't want to acknowledge that, but also there's been some beauty, and I think it's important that whenever you can to look back and find those things, really be proud of those wins, and keep moving forward, because it's what choice do we have? It's easier to keep doing that if you're able to, be proud of yourself. And God knows I'm proud of you. I'm grateful that you. And congrats on that fun music. That was impressive how you did it.
thank you. Yeah. Sorry, I've got somebody talking in the background.
Yeah, we got it. It's all good. All right.
We're hiding in the kitchen.
So Crazy Eyes MK. Who do you want to put on next?
Let's see. I will. I'll pull in Nakia because she doesn't have her camera on, so I bet this might be a little embarrassing. Nakia, Coach Nakia.
She shows muted.
Oh,
there she is.
There she is.
Hello.
Hello.
Where are you?
Where are you? Okay, we'll come back to Nakia and grab Sarah Seaberg. Hello.
Literally, as everybody comes walking back in the door.
Yeah,
Right?
cool. That's like I said. That's how I go. I'm sure there'll be another child. Hello, children.
Yay!
Yep. There's lots of them.
Hello,
Not as many as you, but close.
We know how it goes. All right, everybody, be sort of quiet for a second.
All right.
Your awesome person here tells us what she's going to do more of in 2021.
More keeping moving. I kept moving. I had set a goal of 750 miles and kind of got derailed. I'm like, that's not going to happen. I got to 700. That's pretty stinking close.
There
In
you
this
go.
year.
I haven't even checked. I'm sure my phone could tell me that. But
My Strava told me.
Okay. Well, there you go.
It tracks it for me.
Okay.
But part of that was rolling with the punches. I needed more sleep because of everything going on. And our office has a gym that costs $20 a month.
Amazing.
And there's 5 types of treadmills.
Which was awesome until you couldn't go to the office anymore, right?
Well, our office never shut down.
Oh, okay. There you go.
We worked from home some of the time, but we never fully shut down. So I was able to run at lunchtime because there's nobody else in the building, thus nobody else in the gym.
There you go. Because basically your private gym.
Yeah. And our lunch works out to a 35 to 40-minute run. And in air conditioning, you don't get that sweaty, so you're not that gross going back up. You can get, there's showers and everything, you can get cleaned up, but if I run in Arizona in the summer, going back to work isn't really feasible.
Yeah, I grew up at 48th and Camelback until I was 12 years old, so I get it.
Yeah, we were 15 minutes from us. We're in Scottsdale.
Daddy's doing something. He'll be back. He'll be down with you in a minute.
Similar to Cablin, also realizing that I have bigger kids. That can push in, that can do things.
There are things.
bigger responsibilities, and that we can also do different adventures with. We can go on family bike rides now that everybody just about can ride a bike.
There you go. They can do short order egg cooking. I mean,
My daughter made her own cheese omelet this morning.
look at that. See?
Wow.
So yeah, children have been successfully surviving stoves for many thousands of years.
And that's a kind of a big silver lining that I came out of this year is that they learned life skills.
Yes.
They pitched in doing dishes, and I guess that was a big one for the year in general, was the concept of silver linings.
Mm-hmm.
My husband was laid off in March, 1 week before everything shut down.
Oh my goodness.
But that allowed us to have a parent at home and a parent at work.
That is.
We didn't have to worry about day camps for the summer. We didn't have to worry about, a kid had to quarantine because whatever contact, who's going to work from home? How are we going to make this work? It has worked out because we had a parent that was able to be at home. You want to say something important?
The red what? Give that to me. I'm sorry.
We're having a breakdown over cheese here.
All right.
It's a long cheese question. So that is awesome. Did your little friend want to say something?
Did you want to say something?
And I'm really sorry you don't like it. I could probably do. How about you guys go wait in the other room while they not finish up, okay? I don't know what that is. Get a red balloon after that.
And similar also to Catalan is saying good enough and saying no.
Yes.
Both social engagements, sometimes to these guys that not everything has to be allowed, not everything has to be a go, that it's okay to say no, and sometimes that's another life skill we have to learn.
It is. And I just said no to a red balloon request, so there you go.
What about a blue balloon?
No balloons right now.
No balloons at all in general?
You gotta admire the instinctive timing of the little people. So, but yes, good enough is good enough.
And spending time as a family. So Santa brought some board games. We spent most of the 26th playing Junior Scrabble.
Nice.
Okay.
Which works for a 5-year-old.
Pieces under the couch yet?
No. These guys pulled it out this morning and played by themselves.
There you go. Okay. Got it.
Entertainment that's not electronics is always a win in my book. So
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. Well.
Junior Scrabble, 5 years old. It has 2 different levels, so I'd highly recommend it.
Okay. All right. Any other things you want to do more of, or young people right there?
Do more of.
Anything you want to do more of next year?
What? What do you want to do more of?
Yes.
This year, I want to do more going to places.
Yeah.
More going places? Yeah.
You
I
and
like
like
that.
the entire world. More going to places.
I know one.
What?
I know.
Yes.
I want to see my friends more.
Amen.
Without a computer in between you?
And I know I speak for every parent when we want you to see your friends more, with somebody else watching you
Yes.
for many hours at a time.
Big way.
Big way. We are
Yes.
supportive of that. Anyway. All right. Any other notes? Crazy Eyes MK, do you have any commentary?
No, I'm just, I love that. I mean, what I want more of and what I can actually commit to doing more of are mutually exclusive, I think. But I love that. I want to see my friends too. I miss people a lot. I miss you guys a lot. But that's one thing I have committed to. We'll get to my roars later, but that's one thing that I'm definitely going to be doing more of, is making a considered effort to show up in places and interacting with people, because where I was showing up and interacting in other ways this year, it served a purpose, no regrets. It filled a cup in a certain way, but there's also making time for Zoom calls with friends and Zoom calls with people in fitness protection. And I'm really excited to do more of that. So it might not be the coffee with friends or the dinners with friends or the way that the things that we traditionally think of doing with friends, but I might just end up making more connections this year than ever before.
And just looking at work.
There is only so much tear gas you can put in your cup.
Oh God, that's so true.
Similar to my running on the treadmill, figuring out what you need and what you can do to get what you need. And more chocolate and more snuggles, right, Violet?
Booba, please.
Booba. And more booba. Booba, by the way, is a Russian-made crazy little TV show. Sketch, it's kind of physical comedy, and it is very Russian if you're into Russian funny things.
Sarah's German, so
there we go.
She gets it.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Sarah, and thank you to your small helpers.
RJ, can you turn on some Booba, please, for Violet?
Yes.
Will you want to go with RJ?
Please.
Please.
I say.
Thank you.
Come on, Daddy.
Wait, go with RJ.
Go with RJ. He's going to turn on
Booba.
Booba.
There you go.
Let's see how that goes. Anyway, all right. Who is next in our list of malcontents?
Thanks again, Sarah. I think our next contestant is going to be Erin and her +1. Erin, how far along are you now?
What?
How many weeks are you now?
31.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
The
Okay.
end is nigh.
30. I think the 30. I'm trying to. Our 30 to 40 weeks were always like the ones where the pregnancy seemed to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this is slowing down. And I feel like it's like I'm taking half a step and half, but this thing will come out.
It's like when you're in a race, when you're in a marathon and you hit mile 20 and you're like, yay, I'm almost done. I'm in the digits that start with the number 2. And then you're like, I have like 90 minutes of running to go.
And
you think you're so close to the finish, but then you're like, not at all.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, I'm just over it. That's how I felt every time. I don't know. That's me.
Well,
I mean,
my daughter at 37 weeks. So it's kind of one of those, will I make it? Or are we going to have another early arrival? So,
well, everybody has their fingers crossed. So what, in addition to having your arrival, what do you want to do more of other than having more babies?
I'm not sure I want any more babies, but other than this one that's going to be arriving. But I think the first thing was that I really learned to be present this year. I have a toddler at home, and I have always had my mind on 4,000 things at any point in time, and I'm generally doing 2 to 3 of them. But having her home full time and me being home full time with this pandemic taught me to really be focused on what I was doing and then move on to something else, and that it actually works a whole lot better. So that was good.
There is no halftime 5-year-olds.
No, there is definitely no halftime 2-year-olds either. So. And then we worked, I kind of learned the value of rhythm this year, kind of having everything, my life tends to be whatever kind of comes to my mind is what I do, but learning to kind of follow a rhythm, especially when we were home, helped the days go a little smoother, little less chaos, which was nice. So.
I did. Rhythm is good, though. I overshot the mark. I was the guy who tried to draw a calendar for at-home schooling, and that lasted 3 seconds.
No, there's no calendars. I do not like calendars. Don't like plans. Typically, it's like, oh, what's going to happen right now? What I feel like. So, but between what I feel like and some sort of structure is helpful. So that was good. Let's see. Thinking through these now, they've left my mind. This pregnancy brain talking right now, but
it happens. Trust me.
Yep. More sort of more being okay with starting when I'm not sure of the results.
Yeah,
okay.
I like that.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That was something that I was forced to do this year because I'm used to being the one that sort of plans and might not ever really get it started because I want to make sure I can do it perfectly before I get it started. But when you were thrown into, we went from not knowing what we were doing to working virtually and therapist. So I had to suddenly do virtual therapy within a week's notice. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I have to do it. So here, let's throw caution to the wind and just go. So
there you go. That's I think that was the description of one of my projects this year was, if you had asked me a year ago if this was possible to do virtually, I would have said you were tripping. And we did it virtually. So just because necessity is the mother of learning. So.
Yeah, so that's been really good this year of just learning to be able to say, well, I might not be able to do it perfectly. It might not be amazing, but I'm just going to go for it and do it, even though it might not work out how I hope it will. So
there you go.
I like that.
Well, I think that is also something that you get better at the more children that are around.
Yes.
Because pretty much everything you start is more of a directional intention.
Yeah.
And that direction might shift almost immediately upon anything happening.
Okay.
Which is why we had no shelves or photos on the walls for the 7 years that we've lived in this house until this past week.
Yeah. So finally, we probably finished unpacking this week.
Yeah.
From our move in,
2013.
2013 is when we moved to Colorado. We moved to this house.
2014. I was pregnant with
August
Shiloh.
before Shiloh was born.
Yeah, she was
So 2014. Yeah.
2014.
So we finished unpacking after 6 years this week.
So we moved into our first house in 2011, and my mother-in-law still has boxes in her garage of our things from our move to our condo to our first house, and now we're on our second house. So, yep, we still haven't. She keeps asking me, she's like, do you want them? I was like, if I haven't looked at them in almost 10 years, you can really just toss them. Put them in the trash. I don't need them.
There you go.
So, but I think the other sort of thing that I've learned to be okay with this year that I want to do more of is very similar to what Kavelin and Sarah have said, and that saying no and doing less, enjoying more, just kind of learning to slow things down a little bit has been really good. My daughter is thriving, which we were very busy before, and she struggled with that, and she's doing really, really well now. So I'm very excited about that.
Awesome.
The pandemic has been good for her and her dogs. So the rest of us had to learn along the way, but
and give everybody permission to do less, and also our screen time limits pretty much evaporated in about 10 seconds of the pandemic. And you know what? 9 months later, everybody's still okay. And I'm going to have to go referee a fight now. So I'm going to turn you over to Crazy Eyes MK. And
Oh, no, girl. That's not okay. All right, he's going to take care of that. Sorry.
it's all right. Mine is watching ping pong right now. So
They're fighting over Butterbean and who gets to watch what, because all the smaller electronic things are charging at the moment. So the one that remains is now. Anyway, sorry.
the TV has been on ping pong for the last week, so that's pretty much all we've gotten to watch.
That's our bathtub now. Our bathtub is nothing but Baby Shark, everything.
Well, it turns out they have like 8 million more shows besides just Baby Shark. So I've learned all sorts of things about dinosaurs and cheetahs, and it's been ridiculous. But
Oh my God. I'm not ready. Not ready. So is that your 5, or where were we?
I think that was all I had. But I don't know if it was 5. But that was my win for the year and what I wanted to do.
We love that. Oh, no, you want to come say hi too?
Okay.
Okay. What's one thing you did well this year, RJ, and want to do more of next year?
I don't know.
You don't know? I know this is what grown-ups say too. It's a hard question. Mwah.
I won't stay on it.
more pig
More
Latin.
Pig Latin.
Oh, very nice.
For 7, it's the cool thing now.
Yep. I don't remember much Big Latin. So.
Whatever. Whatever. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you for sharing with us. We hope the next 9 weeks will go smoothly for you. And they pass quickly. More quickly than, say, the Tiger King phase of the quarantine. Did you see anyone see Carol Baskin last night on the New Year's Eve special? Oh, she was on ABC briefly, and I was just like, I've seen all I need to see now. This is great.
We never watched Tiger King to start with, so.
You didn't?
No.
Oh my gosh. My husband is still not forgiven me entirely for making him binge watch Tiger King.
Then we did just watch The Sopranos for 3 weeks straight.
Well,
Yeah.
Our resident toddler never grew out of the night owl phase, so we never really. She goes to bed between 10 and 11 o'clock at night.
God, you function.
You just do. But she naps a long time in the afternoon. But we don't get nighttime TV because she's awake and really feel like that was the best thing for a 2-year-old to be watching. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you have better boundaries than I do. I've been listening to a podcast about Princess Diana called what's the name? You're Wrong About. That's the name of the podcast. You're Wrong About ... And the series, it's different every episode, diving deeply into something. And the subject that I've been listening to is Princess Diana. And I'm like, I forget like how tragic, because I was so young when she passed, and so so young when she was a thing. I forget, there are very vivid descriptions of eating disorders and of self-harm. And at one point, RJ was like, she cut herself on the chest. I'm like, oh man, I should probably turn this podcast down.
Wait, that was even better because last night we were watching the Flight Attendant on HBO Max, which, by the way,
Got to watch it.
You have to watch. Very good.
So good.
But Cheyenne, of course, walks in right in the scene where what's her name, the actress? Kaylee Cuoco from The Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
Is talking to this guy who has had his throat slit, and she does this a lot during the course of this. Like, because she's kind of talking in her mind to this dead guy. So she's talking to this guy who's lying on the bed, covered in blood with his throat slit. That is the moment Cheyenne came in, and I'm like, okay, now we're gonna have to talk.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna let you guys watch that, and I will stick with our cartoons for the 2-year-old. So.
Yeah, I get it. We're like, we told you to stay in your room. We were going to watch mommy and daddy things. Oops.
Yeah. My 2-year-old have boundaries, so.
We suck at it. We're glad that you don't.
All right. Talk to you all later.
Thanks. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Oh, and where's Coach Nakia?
She's been in and out. I think she's
been in and out. All right, I'm going to pull you up and check my phone. That might be her texting saying I give up.
Oh, so this is one of those moments when she's like, entertain the crowd.
Yay. Oh, here she is.
Oh, here she is, Nakia. And okay. There we go. So, other thing we're having more of this year, cookie dough. More cookie dough. I'm a big eating cookie dough fan. With kids, you're not supposed to do that, but parents totally do it after you go to sleep. So
yeah, we do.
If there's cookie dough in the house and it disappears all of a sudden, it was not the Easter Bunny or anything. And I hear an imminent fight about scissors downstairs coming up. So if I have to run away suddenly from my cookie dough, that is why, because apparently there's a scissors dispute developing in the basement. And so I told people a few minutes ago to go downstairs and brush their teeth, wash their face, and put their pajamas on, of which, that usually requires about 3 or 4 reminders to have people brush their teeth and wash their face and put their pajamas on. In fact, all the young people out there, now is a great time to brush your teeth and wash your face and put your pajamas on. My son confessed to me today that he does not think he's good at brushing his teeth and is unhappy with the cleanliness of his teeth. That's something. And so Chocolate Steaming Monster, look at that. Oh yeah, there we go. That's Nutella's good too.
Let me tell them about Nutella. Like this, they have.
Oh yeah, we had Nutella for dinner tonight. Everybody had Nutella on bread. So we discovered in this pandemic toast and Nutella because we couldn't really we didn't really feel great about letting them eat the Nutella raw. So we had to find something to put it on. So toast and Nutella. And, the baby got up in the mornings and wanted toast and Nutella and cheese for breakfast. And I'm like, if you ever decide you want to live in Europe, you are going to fit right in because that is a perfectly normal European breakfast.
Oh, right. Even when the neighbors made truffles, homemade truffles, and gifted us a bunch. And then there was a good 3-day period before she luckily totally forgot. Whereas I want truffles. Yeah. And it was kind of amazing.
There we go.
Oh.
All right. Well, so Coach MK. What are we doing with Coach Nakia?
We are going to call in and put her on speaker.
Calling Coach Nakia. Coach Nakia, come in, please.
Yay!
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Tell us about your Romule roars, please.
So first things first, petting my dog more has literally been the win. Would recommend it. Even today, I spent probably 3 hours on the couch just petting my dog.
Sounds good to me.
It's something that I feel like, of course, I was doing before, but now I feel like it's I can literally just sit in the house with nothing on and just pet my dog. And it's I don't know how people without animals, children, or just another human in the house got through the pandemic, because I would highly recommend getting another something in the house, unless it's a toxic boyfriend. So
yeah, don't want those.
Next, I felt like I advocated a lot more for myself this year, so I want to continue to do that. I guess that could be its own one, and then the next one would be I said no a lot more. and it's okay to say no. Like, as type A and as type, like, I don't know, just, I really got into being willing to say, like, no, I need a full day, like, canceling things, or just, like, not forcing myself to be productive when I definitely didn't feel like being productive. I guess that's 3 things.
Can you guys hear Coach Nikia as well as we can? If anyone just can let me know, because we hear it just fine, but we'll see. I'm sure Chrissy will have something to work with.
It's over my chewing of the chocolate.
Yeah, but we're probably if there's a problem with sound, Coach Nikia, it's probably us.
Oh yeah, somebody says yes. Facebook user says yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
oh,
cool.
hear her well. Perfect. Okay.
Trying to think, because it's funny because a lot of them just kind of start to file into the like advocating and saying no.
Yeah.
Like those are the things kind of fall under that umbrella, but just like taking the time to do things. Like, of course, like I feel like everybody has a long list of things that they've like wanted to do or should do, or, you know, like, oh, it would make my life so much easier if I just did this. And so like, I caught myself in like a spiral of just not doing any of it because I'm like, oh, well, if I do one, then I got to do this, and then I got to do that. And so being able to just like do one thing and be okay with that thing for a week or 2 weeks, and then tackle the next thing. So really being able to like break down my to-do list was another one that I want to be able to do while also saying no.
So a to-do about your to-do list is what you're saying.
Yeah. But it was one of those things where I would a lot of times just do that doom spiral of like, oh, I'm not going to do that because then I'd have to do this. And then I just keep saying like, oh, well, I can't do it. But instead, this time I was able to just kind of like sit down and be like, okay, I am going to order the part on Amazon so that I can do this. Or, oh, I'm going to go pick up the thing to just change this one thing that would make my house more hospitable to myself.
Yeah.
So that's been and just a lot of like that kind of thing. And then I am going to make sure that I continue to like buy things I enjoy. And I know that sounds silly, but I feel like
not at all.
A lot of, especially those of us in the like millennial, like younger millennial category, where we basically have been told that like it's all our fault for not having anything. Because that's how people think economics works. That's another
for the record, I think that is completely stupid, but you're correct. That is real, but they are wrong. F them.
Right. And so being able to be like, you know what, like it's nobody's business if this is what I want to like do with my money, time, and energy. And also just any of that, right? Like, you know, if even just energy, like if I want to bully the government with my energy, then like so be it. Which that has been a blast. Would recommend you should at least get into an argument with your city municipality
right
once a month.
Or once a week. I like to say your tax dollars fund this. It's amazing.
I've been blocked by the mayor of Richmond.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I think the attorney general too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Commonwealth Attorney General blocked me, which is like one of those things that I prior to 2020, I was the kind of person where I was like the only place that I felt like I rocked the boat was in like the world, quote unquote, world of fitness, because I was a plus size Black woman. I didn't like, you know, I wasn't confrontational. I didn't argue with people about different stuff. I just be like, you have a blessed day and I'm gonna move on. Now I'm just actively arguing with people because I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so I would say I don't plan on getting into more arguments, but I also will not tolerate other people's unnecessary bullshit when they're wrong. Like not being afraid to go ahead and like go ahead. If people are saying stuff like, oh, well, like, you know, Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization, like, I don't need that in my life. Like, if you literally if you look at the phrase itself and it's like, like, I don't really like that, then I know what you feel about me, whether you think you know it or not.
Yeah.
So being able to just kind of cut those things off. So, yeah, that was kind of like a rambly list. But
not rambling.
I make mantras every year, and like some of them kind of just come about, and then some of them, you know, end up being actually set intentionally. And so my current one is stay the course, because I feel like a lot of the changes I made in 2020 were good things. Like they weren't even like I mean, for all the bad as an impact for myself, like I felt a lot of things, but I also, like, a lot of things that I changed for, like, me, myself, and my household was perfect. So staying the course is where I'm at. I'm going to keep doing a lot of the things that probably take people off. I'm going to be more outspoken, which is going to be fun.
Yes. I always like hearing that.
And not worrying about what other people have to say about some stuff. Because some things I just have to, like, let fly. And, like, I can't change other people. So I'm just going to exist and enjoy that existing and go from there. So, yeah, that's me.
We enjoy you existing here, and you can always use our platform to say anything you want. No such thing as too outspoken around me.
Rock on.
Yay. Well, we love you. Thank you for sharing that with us, Coach Nikia. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I know you are the bright spot in my day, and same for so many people. And I'm sure everybody's going to love the little morsels you just fed us as much as she's loving the morsels he's feeding her right now. Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Weird.
Oh, awesome.
Yay. Thanks, Nikia.
On that note, I think with eating some chocolate chip cookie dough, we might be drawing our Romulan experience to close.
Yeah, well, as everyone gathers around Daddy for a bite of cookie dough, I will share with you my roars, and these will be going up on social media over the next few days. You want to say hi, Cheyenne?
Hello.
Hello. All right, so number one for me, my biggest one, a few years ago when I first started this, my first resolution that made me feel good my first roar, I'm going to dry my hair more. And my husband got me the Dyson, the world's most expensive hair dryer. And you know where the money went when you get it. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I dry my hair all the time now. So between that and the eyelash extensions, even if I haven't taken a lot of time to get ready in the morning, I feel pulled together. And I want to commit to more things that make me feel pulled together with it. Girls, I mean it. Other room, please. Thank you. Thank you. I'm almost finished, and then you can be in anywhere you want. I want to feel, I'm committed to anything that's going to make me feel pulled together that doesn't break the bank. So the eyelash extensions are a great way to take a nap for an hour once every 3 weeks. And I get to wake up every day in between feeling, this today being the grand exception with whatever I'm reacting to whatever new glue they use. But on the whole, this 2 months have been, feeling good and looking good and feeling much more confident in front of a camera. Because I'll tell you what, until you are staring at your own smug mug under different lighting several hours a day, every day, you don't realize how much you may like or dislike. I've just never paid this much attention to my face. And now I'm really happy with what I see. So yeah, more of that. And these are the things I wouldn't have done in the past because it would have felt frivolous or vain or like we're supposed to look good as women or be presentable with as little effort as possible. And there was always, I felt like I could never really justify it. So here we go, sticking with the eyelash extensions. The little things that make a big difference in my day. The second thing is I'm now become an afternoon runner. If you follow me on Strava or have been working with me for a while, you know that for decades, like my whole life, my routine has been to get out of bed, go for a run, and then I'm out of the shower before the sun is up. I've always been that person who's awake annoyingly early. And ever since being pregnant with Violet, I've no longer been that person. I keep waiting for that to come back, and it hasn't yet. It might. But for now, it's also really cold in the mornings. And I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, but I got a 24-hour-a-day husband now, which I've never had before. And the biggest pleasure of mine on the weekends when he was home, when he was traveling, was to just, if the kids put him to bed a little bit late so that we could sleep in a little bit later and just snuggle each other, throw my arm around him and hang out there for a while. And that's become pretty much the morning routine. And I felt guilty about this for a while. I really need to get up. I need to mom. I've got to be an adult. And I would use the same sort of shaming words that we all use when we're not being productive. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to snuggle more. There are whole days now where I might be on the couch until 11 o'clock doing what I can from the phone and with kids in my lap and husband next to me. And that is probably not going to last forever. It might last through the end of 2021, but not forever. So I'm gonna get all the snuggles while I can, guilt free. So that is number 2. Number 3 is communicating. And this is a hard thing because it's like, what more could you possibly say, MK? Because I know I've been accused of oversharing on social media. I've been accused of, and maybe I do. I don't know. I just try to be myself as much as I can and share in ways that I think might be conducive or productive for other people. The things that I would like to see out there are usually the things I say and share. This year, I was more reticent than usual because I didn't know how to explain what I was doing and how I was feeling in a way that would not feel incendiary or miss the mark. Because plus there comes a certain point where it's like, how do you explain bear traps around your house? How do we explain how we got here? I don't even know. So there was a part of me that shut down and just stopped talking to people. And once we got through the end of the year, I posted, sent the Christmas cards and used that as the impetus to reopen lines of communication with a lot of people. I really want to keep that going. So I'm going to communicate more, and in fitness protection as well. I've always been hesitant to ask more than because we're all working on a volunteer basis. None of us are getting paid yet. It'll be nice someday when we all do. But for now, that's why we still have a business in this economy, is the fact that everybody's, putting in the effort to work for free. And I'm so hesitant to send long emails or ask people to do things because I want to be really conscious and worthy of the time that they're investing in this. But I do that at the risk of not communicating enough. So I'm going to be going to at least attempt to be more communicative. I did some of that towards the end of the year. It paid off in a big way, and I'm going to be doing more of that next year. And the last thing, and again, this is probably a funny thing to say coming from me, is I really want to run more. And I don't mean that with running was the sort of thing that kind of fell not away, but to the wayside again for me. Running is something that has been such a deeply baked part of my routine for so long that as my routine slowly changed, it was really hard to find a place for it either in the day or in the context of what was going on, what my day would involve. And now I'm going to be a lot more conscientious of, I just feel better when I run. I can handle anything after a run. So after a year of sort of being pulled away from all things that were normal, the abnormal things that remain, I am going to get my butt off the couch with my big fake eyelashes and out of the cuddle puddle to put my pants on and go for a run. But the pants are also going to be soft pants. I met Samantha B last night was saying her New Year's resolution was to put on hard pants and hard shoes just once. I'm like, if I can get through the rest of my existence without having to wear hard shoes or pants, I will consider that winning at life. I don't really care. So thus concludes our Run Meal special. Like I said, I'll be putting up my roars on social media. And if you want to fill out the template and do the same, be sure to tag us so we don't miss it. I think you're fabulous. I am so, so grateful that you have chosen to spend this year with us. And I cannot wait to see what 2021 brings our way. I meant it though. I really hope January is gentle because if it isn't, I fear to think what September could bring. But we're not going to go that far ahead. We're going to stay in the moment, in today, being really excited about the things we did well this year and looking forward to more of it in 2021 because we are coached, we are loved, and even if we don't feel like it most of the time, we are, in fact, winning at life. Happy New Year.